There you go. So I'm just making sure that my screens are available here. And let me share my screen. Should be this one. And there we go. So welcome in this summer session. And actually, it is summer. In Belgium, it's kind of hard to have some summertime last days. It was like very rainy, very stormy, but today seems to be a real summer day. So we are on level here for that topic here. We had already two other sessions earlier this week on Monday, on Tuesday. Yesterday was about sales. I think my colleague Pablo was hosting that one. And today we are talking about marketing. So maybe before we start, some practical things to show, and that should pop up right now. So feel free to add some comments in the chat. If you have questions, feel free to add them in the Q&A section. So at the bottom right, you will find the buttons to do that. Marcus will follow up while I am speaking, and we will give the opportunity here as well to grab the microphone and ask questions as well at the end of the session, of course. But if you have something already relevant during the session, feel free to add it in the chat if needed, if possible. We will create some time for that as well. Feel free to keep your camera on. I like that. I like to see the people I'm talking to. But if you don't like to be on the recording, it's okay, of course, to do that. Right. So just a quick introduction of myself. I am presenting from Belgium. I am working as a change manager slash trainer slash business analyst in the team G Cloud for Google Workspace related migrations, projects, remediation projects, and whatever. So I'm working now, I think 3.5 years for that team. But I am using Google Workspace already professionally since more than 12 years. So I'm like swimming in that environment already since quite some time here. And I will not go too much in detail as an introduction because I suppose quite of this information is already shared in the beginning of the series on Monday, for instance. But there are some few topics that I just wanted to highlight here. When we're talking about Gemini, the Gen AI implementation of Google in their Google Workspace environment, in their productivity suite, directly in the productivity suite. This is not something that is just decided in a few months. They are already working on that topic for years. Even more than 10 years ago, the first steps were done trying to make something supporting the users in a clever and a smart way. And we had that evolution of suggestions when writing a mail or a chat and so on. And then also the new technology that started to be available, everything that is text-to-speech, text-to-text, speech-to-text. And then we had Bard last year, now Gemini, and so on. So it really is a whole history, and it is going at a very, very high speed. And that is actually something that is a little bit concerning. I mean, I am not that young anymore. I'm 50 plus. So I saw already in the past some new technology popping up. The starting of even the starting of internet was something new for me, but also smart introduction of smartphones, smart devices, and that kind of stuff. This hype, it's called a hype. This wave is not a hype or is not a wave. It's genuinely a new era, I think. It's not a new set of features that is being presented. It's not a new way of dealing with texts and so on. It's a complete new mindset. And not only in our professional life, it will also be part of our private life as well. And it's going on a speed that we never imagined before. It's only in the end of 22, I think, that ChatGPT started, launched. So that's not even 2 years ago. And when we see how rapidly things have changed, it's a really incredible pace. So if we should try to find a place where we are now, I would say yes, we are somewhere over here, maybe in the very beginning, huh? And we are only starting, and that's what Google is saying all the time, and all those other innovators. It's just the beginning, but I really believe it is just the beginning. And if we see already what is already available, what is already present, then it's kind of hard to predict how the future will look like. And that's not something scary, huh? To be honest. It's really exciting, I think, because yeah, I think we're going to see some nice things that will facilitate our lives, our work, and also innovate the way we will evolve and change. So Gemini and Gen AI in general in the Google ecosystem. We will talk about features that are in the left rectangle. So we will talk about features in Gmail and Drive, Docs and Slides. I will even be able to show you a feature that is quite new, still very experimental, but the creation of videos is quite impressive, and I would like you to give you some insights in how that works. But that's not the only part where Google is investing, of course. So Google is also investing big time in everything that is technically available, like infrastructure, databases, of course, everything artificial intelligence related, and so on. So there is a huge set. AppSheet, we are not able to talk about that, but AppSheet is a way to create applications to support your workflows. Well, it's a no-code, low-code environment that you are even able to just add, let's say, a prompt into the text, and then the application will be made for you. So even if you are not a developer, or even if you are not feeling confident using this light technical environment, well, GenAI will be there to help you, of course. So in this session, we will talk about marketing. I will use some marketing examples related to the usage of Gemini. I'm not a marketer myself, so forgive me if I say or suggest any stupid examples or drafts, but you will get the message, of course. I will try to do it my best possible. So Gemini for Google Workspace, how is it related to other competitors, for instance? Well, it is integrated in Google Workspace, and that's a very important thing. This means that by paying a Gemini Google Workspace license, you are also protected by everything that is already Google Workspace related. So everything that is compliance, security, confidentiality, and so on, that is already guaranteed within that Google Workspace environment is automatically being applied to this Gemini add-on. So it's not like a separate environment, a separate platform. It's really embedded within that environment, within that ecosystem. And that makes it an interesting one, because all the content we are working on, mail, chats, can be text, spreadsheets, can be slides, can be videos, and so on. Everything, PDF documents, images included, all that material is already available in Google Workspace. And we will be able then to use that to create new materials, to update materials, to have a better quality of content using this Gemini add-on within Google Workspace. And as I said, we are only in the beginning. So the feature list and the possibilities are changing very rapidly. So yesterday, for instance, they introduced the possibility in the web app, so in the GeminiGoogle.com, in the web app, to activate extensions towards Gmail, Google Drive, and Documents. That means that in the standalone web app, you can refer directly to your Google Drive environment, your Gmail environment, and so on. So you will be able to take into account specific files or in general files that exist in your Drive environment just using the web app. So the web app is one very important experience. There is also the side panel. The side panel is an integrated solution within Gmail, Drive, and so on, where you will be able to ask prompts. Prompts are the questions you ask to your colleague, your virtual Gemini colleague, let's call him or her, and you will be able to ask questions there, and the result will be based, of course, on that content, that context that is available in that main screen, let's say. And we also have a third way to interact with Gemini. We also have the possibility to ask questions or ask to create content specifically then in a Gmail message and in a Google Doc. So those are the three existing experiences. And we will see that the integration is growing. So in the beginning, that sidebar was not available. So it's only a few months that this sidebar is now available, maybe 2 or 3 months. It became generally available. So we see this evolution going at a quite a high pace here. So what I'm telling you today is maybe changing already tomorrow or next month and so on. So it's only the top of the iceberg. I think that I'm able to cover here. Now I will be mainly continue this presentation in an environment itself, so in a live environment. As this is also sometimes very experimental, bear with me if things are not working as expected. That's possible in Gen AI and Gemini. So sometimes you will see hiccups or hallucinations. But I will also try to show you some mechanisms that you can use to check results, to make sure that, okay, can I just accept what Gemini is suggesting here, or do I need to do some double checks and so on? There are some ways that you can do there. So let me switch to a other screen here. That should be there. All right. And let me switch to some other screens as well. So the web app, the standalone app, let's say, which is not very standing alone anymore. I will explain in a second. The web app is like a separate tab experience, gemini.google.com, that will be linked to your environment when you see this Gemini for your organization name. So this means that you are using a paid license, and you will also see then at the bottom that the prompts are not used for the learning models, for the training of the learning models. The prompts are not used for any human review. So it's really a confidential environment within that Google Workspace ecosystem. If you would do this for your personal Gmail, your private Gmail account, maybe you will have a different experience. It will look very similar, but it will say Gemini 4 and then add your name, for Hans in my case. And then you will see at the bottom that it is not really super confidential, meaning that the prompts that you are using in your private Gmail account can be used. So if you are experimenting with that, take into account if you are working a private environment and in a professional paid environment, then confidentiality is guaranteed. It's not, if it's not the case, using your private Gmail account, be aware that you should not add any confidential information in your prompting, just to make sure that it's not used for anything training of language models related. Now, recently, and it's recently, like yesterday, I think, they added also the possibility to add some extensions. When you click on the settings, you will see it's possible to have the extensions being enabled, yes or no. Extensions towards the Gmail options, towards Drive, and towards Google Docs for the moment. And it's not popping up. That's why it's a live demo, of course. It's not popping up. So it means that we can directly refer to Gmail, to Google Docs, or to Google Drive, asking questions in this standalone environment. Now, a very big advantage here is that you can do it in your own language. Not all languages are supported, but it's like 35 languages are supported here in this Gemini web app. So that's kind of big already. But that is not the case in the Gemini sidebar yet. So there are some technical reasons for doing so, I think. But yeah, this is the very big advantage here, that you will be able to use your own language here. So how does it work? It's actually chat-based. So that means for each conversation, you can click this chat button and ask a question. So let's start with something like this. I'm copy-pasting a prompt from my notes, something like that. We are talking about marketing. Let's imagine that Gemini is a senior marketing researcher, and we would like that expert colleague to give us some information about the latest consumer behavior trends to take into account when launching a new electrical vehicle model in Europe. This is a very small prompt. It's actually not a very good example of a prompt. I mean, a prompt is only good when you have a lot of context. Here, the context is very limited. It's about an EV model, it's a new model, it's in Europe, so it's already adding some constraints. We are asking about the latest consumer behavior trends, which is quite precise, but I am not like giving any details there. And I'm also adding a persona. A persona is actually showing in which role Gemini should behave. So let's go for a result. Click on the arrow button here. And then as long as you see this stop button, you will see that Google Gemini is trying to create the answer here. Depending on your use case, you can also add images. For now, it's only limited to images, but you could add, in this case, for instance, add one or multiple images of the prototype of a vehicle or a specific model that you would like to take into account in this whole conversation. So you will have here some results here about the latest consumer behavior trends. It's about eco-consciousness. It's about costs. It's about charging convenience, range anxiety, so technology, brand reputation and trust, and so on. So I have already some inspiration here to see what should I take into account as a marketeer if I would launch something, if I would launch a marketing campaign and the publications in Europe here. Now, this result offers me the possibility to do a double check. And specifically in like sensitive results, it could be interesting to just click the Google search icon here, allowing you to do a side check on the Google search environment. So the same question or question like will be asked in Google search, and then you will have a comparison between the Google Gemini results and the Google search results. So here you see this item is actually indeed recognized as, yeah, we found this in Google search as well. So it's probably something that is correct. We find some similar content, and you see this is about a European link. Well, it's probably worth trusting. Here as well, charging convenience, it's about EV box, maybe not a very objective way, but you could check if you would like to. And there is another one here that was in orange. So this is something that was not really find similar results here. So maybe this is maybe not something that you should take into account, depending, of course, on your own point of view and your own experiences, right? So the possibility that you have here is actually helping you to be able to have yeah, a good idea of what is this worth. You could also do this by actually asking Gemini itself. You could ask a question like, if you would need to rate this result from 1 to 10, what number would you qualify this result? So then you are forcing your virtual friend, your virtual colleague, to do some checks and then see what would be the result here. We also have the possibility to fine tune. So depending on the result, maybe you want to have a shorter or a longer or a more professional way, or a more professional language that you would like to add. You will be able to do this and make sure that you have an alternative. Alternatives are always available. Even so, when asking the question, you will have already probably more than two drafts possible here. When you click on the show drafts, you will have other options that are available here as well, and you are even able to have it spoken to you, called like a story. So here you see some other possibilities. In a lot of cases, you would like to use this content, of course, right? So you are able to click on this share button, and you will be able to just export it to docs. So it will create a new document, or create a draft mail in Gmail. So this content then will be copy pasted in this new message being available in your Gmail. But this is a conversational model. So you really can treat Gemini as the colleague sitting next to you, and you can allow or assign, I should say, any kind of expert role to him or her. You only need to be quite clear. You cannot expect that colleague to know everything in the world. So you have to give some expert role knowledge, some context, and so on. And taking that into account, your expert colleague, which is working day and night, never going on holiday, enjoying summer, winter, and all of the seasons without any problem, you will be able to ask those questions. So let's continue here now, and add a follow-up question here. And my mouse is blocking a bit. I don't know why. So a follow-up question here could be, what are the main marketing responsibilities for a marketeer in a company selling EV cars? So based on the previous answer, Gemini will try to give more explanation, more information. So the context is already quite clear. It's about marketing, it's about EVs, it's about responsibilities and tasks. So you see that it will be growing, it will add information based on the previous conversations, and you will be able to steer. If you see that the result is not what you were expecting, or is not what you would like to see, you will be able to correct and steer here. So tasks here are research and analysis, strategies, branding and communication, launch and promotion, and so on. So you have a bunch of tasks that are available here. Now we can actually combine those two prompts now. We had the first one and then a second one, by adding another prompt here. No, that's not what I copied. This should know. Oh, what's happening? Let's try again. Copy, Control V. Oh, well, my screens are not really collaborating, so I will type as a senior marketing researcher. What are the latest consumer behavior trends? Oh, this is actually the same. Sorry, it's my mistake. I am having a duplicate here. So the follow-up here would be this one. My apologies. So we are now combining the first results or the first prompt and the results of that prompt with the second one to create something that we can actually use, a marketing campaign planning involving the product launch announcement, and we are adding more details. So we are adding, it should be done on social media platforms, but I don't know which one. So I ask which one are mostly used by potential buyers of EVs. I will get more extra information like how long will it take, what kind of input do I want. I would like to have some simple draft messages already. I am also indicating what kind of audience we are talking to. We are talking to environmental engaged consumers still hesitating to take the last step. And we should have everything in a table. So I'm asking to create something that I can actually then use, right? So let's see what would be the result of this prompt here. This prompt is much more complex, right? There is much more context. There is also a very dedicated format that I was asking Gemini to produce. I have now a result. I see some information. So it's explaining actually why Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn would be the preferred platforms here. And then I have a table of information, and I should also have an export button here to Sheet, right? So instead of copy pasting and do whatever that is interesting here, I can just create this table right from within the result of Gemini. So it will open up. Well, it will not open up. It will provide me the link to open up the sheet. There you go. And maybe to make it a little bit nicer to see or quicker to understand, we can just easily convert it to a table. It will immediately be more interesting or easier to say, and maybe we should have those columns also a little bit different like this. So here we have this almost ready to use, let's say, plan that has been published here, right? So instead of starting from scratch and trying to think, okay, how should I do this? You can just ask your Gemini friend next to you, hey man, please create something for me. It's done extremely quickly, and it will give you already some hints, inspirations, and whatever that is needed to get started. Of course, Gemini is not aware of everything that has been produced before in this case. So it was like, I'm a new colleague, right? But imagine that you can also add documents to your chat and ask to take that source into account. So let's go back to Gemini, and I will start up a new chat. And I would say, add Drive. There is a document about marketing tasks. Create a quick summary of it. So my prompt is still very small, very short, very limited, but I am giving an extra hint here. You see now the experience is different. It's looking in that Google Drive environment, and now it's checking in all the Google Drive content that I have if something Similar is available. So I found a document titled Marketing Task that outlines the responsibilities of a senior marketeer in that EV company. So in my chat, it was not mentioned, but here it is added. And then you see there is like information being summarized very quickly, and the link to that document is directly in the result. So you can just check, double check if that would be needed in this environment. Again, depending on your needs, you will be able even to copy this result or share this again on Nextpert to Docs or to Gmail, whatever that is needed. So you can go pretty wild, let's say, here, because you can combine it right from within this experience. So this was about, let's say, the web app experience, the standalone experience, not so standing alone anymore now because of that extension. Those extensions are experimental as well, so it's not generally available yet. But yeah, in the alpha channel, it's possible to start experimenting with it. So for the moment, not including sheets and slides, but yeah, that will come soon, of course. As we see, this is like gradually growing and changing at a very high pace, actually. All right, so we created this documentation. So in Google Sheets, you will be able now to go further. And I want to show now the side panel experience, which is a little bit different here. When we click on the Gemini icon here at the top right, we will be able to have our friend again next to the content that we would like to check here. So for instance, I'm not a real spreadsheet expert, and I would like to understand how can I group this information per social media platform. So I could ask here, teach me how to make sure that I can have grouped experiences. So I would like to group this table based on social media platform. How can I do this? Now, Gemini will try to find and search and speak into the natural language here to instruct you how to create pivot tables, it seems that I need. As I am not aware of anything pivot table related, which is not the case, but okay. So it's actually showing me how to do it, like with real live instructions. So if there is something like you see in the instructions, the social media platform field has to be dragged into the rows section. So it's actually helping you step by step. Even better, it's also possible to use a query formula, and it will explain even how this would help you. The query feature is a quite complex feature, but really, really interesting to use because it's super powerful. But you need to understand how to write SQL language. So the select clause here is based on SQL language, which is used by the data engineers. I'm not a data engineer at all, so I'm rather happy that Gemini provides this for me. I can consider Gemini in this case as my colleague data engineer being able to write SQL language here, which is kind of impressive, right? Of course, in this case, we would maybe even like to have it done already. And that's not even too far in the future that this kind of features will be added as well. And so for now, it's kind of limited, like help me to do, teach me how to, or what formula should I use, or how do I write my formula? Well, in the future, it will be possible even to just ask the question and say, please group everything by Instagram. And then you will have that being done, right? So gradually, we see those kind of features are rolling out and changing. Okay, I have to take into account that the clock keeps on ticking. Gemini should do something about it, but I don't know how that would work. Let's imagine in marketing, I can assume that you are creating tons of slides, presentation decks. So let's create quickly a new slide deck. Slides.new will create immediately a slide deck in my drive. And we would like some help from Gemini here as well, using the sidebar again to create images, to create slides, and so on. For the moment, this is still quite limited, but again, you will see there are some ways that are already quite impressive. But we do know this is a feature that is in progress and that will evolve also the coming months to have like even the possibility to ask Gemini to create a slide deck based on a mail message and maybe a transcription of a meet. So in Meet, you are able to do some transcriptions. We could actually activate this here in our own meeting now. So I'm clicking a button and you will see that we are start taking notes. Those notes will be created automatically. For people that are arriving later in the meeting, it would be possible even to just see what has been discussed before, right? And at the end, you will be able to use that transcription into other documents. So as a summary, as tasks, whatever that is needed, or as a source to create a presentation. But now it's still a little bit limited, but let's see what we can do already with the existing features here. So we open up the Gemini sidebar, and we will ask to create a slide. Create a slide about the pros of a EV in a city environment. For the moment, it's only possible to create slides one by one, but you can, as a conversation, keep on adding information here to make it like a story. You are building up the situation here. Now it isn't creating here automatically this kind of a slide. So the topics that are raised here are about city environment and the pros. So it's about zero emissions, it's about lower operating costs, it's about instant torque and so on. So yeah, that makes sense. Let's just add it here. And it's also creating an image. So this image is created automatically by Google, and it's even possible. Let's just add another slide here, for instance, here, and I will just add it like this. So you could also ask Gemini to create a specific image using this button here. You could say, create a picture of an EV under a white sheet in the spotlights. Photography. You have different styles, and you can create like drawings or vectorized items. You have some options here, still limited. You are not able now. You are not able to say I wanted to have in a specific dimension. I wanted to have it as a PNG and so on. But yeah, then this is already a beginning. And then you have some suggestions here. Let's say I'm going for this one. I will be able to have it available here, and I will be able right-clicking here even to see some other options here. Let's say that we want to remove the background of this picture. We don't like this very black, darkish thing. We would like to have more something like this, and you will see in a moment why I would like to do it. I will show you immediately. Now let's add another one. And let's then open up our Gemini again. So create a slide about the financial advantages of an EV. So here again, I expect some bullet points here. I hope also that there will be like an image being created. I have no idea what kind of image will be used here. I did not add any specification here. So now it's like adding a charger, if I see this correctly. And yeah, I can just insert it here. Now, for the moment, it is created in a very basic layout. And as a marketeer, you would like, of course, your company branding being applied automatically, which is not the case yet. But you can do it very, very quickly. So we can use the possibility to add a specific theme. Where can I do this here? There. Oh, that was it almost. Wait, where is my theme? Oh, I had it and it's now gone. Insert the, oh, sorry, format. Oh, why is my theme now? Ah, okay, over here. So I can import a theme from a branding, a branded one. So imagine I have, imagine this one, the status report contains the branded presentation. I can select it. I can insert it. And it will be applied to the slides. There you go. You see, for instance, my title slide now. New EV model, and you see this picture without the background. And in these cases, I don't see it really being added, but we can just select those two. We can click layout, and we can then just assign a specific layout to be applied here, and there you go. So without any worries, I can really quickly adapt my automatically generated slides into this slide deck. Of course, you might change some other things as well, but I just wanted to show you how it is possible to create this kind of things. Okay, one last thing that I would like to show. It's very experimental. It's very new. I would even say still a little bit secret, I think. So it's also available in that alpha feature channel. So when I click, well, it's not even possible to click. I directly have to go to vets.google.com. When I do so, I am able to create videos supported by Gen AI, by Gemini. So this is actually an integration in your Google Drive environment. Again, the complete integration is the biggest plus here, because you already benefit from the standard permissions way of working. That's completely available from scratch, from the beginning. So we are able to create here a new video by clicking the plus button. And Gemini will try to help us. So you could start from scratch and creating something manual, of course. But let's say I want Gemini to help me. I need a video to launch our new EV model. Again, a very bad prompt. Yeah, you remember you need to be more precise and so on. But for the sake of this demo, let's keep it short and easy. Gemini will now try to create an outline for this video. So it should contain some information about an introduction. Sustainability is an important topic. I did not mention it, but yes, it was clear that it should be done. The need for EVs, introduction, features and benefits, and so on. So a lot of information has been added here. Reducing carbon emissions, I was not mentioning. Long-range battery, I was not mentioning. So it really tried to find the things, the topics that are relevant, and that kind of a message here. So imagine what you can do if you have more information, right? Um, so for now, I will just stick with that suggestion. You could create extras or delete or edit. Let's see what it's going to create. In this experimental phase, we only have three, let's say, designs that are available. I will just go with anything. In the future, it will be possible to see or to add like branded ones. Let's just go for it. And now Gemini is going to create the video itself. Now, the vids in Gemini, you will see, are very related to the concepts in Google Slides and in Google Drawings, like layers and objects, text objects, shapes, and so on that you can add. Plus, of course, recordings, videos, and so on. It's also supporting a script way of working, so you can really create a script or even import a script in the future from Google Docs, for instance, or from a mail or from a me transcription. And then you will be able to even record it by yourself, right? So this vid now contains several scenes. At the bottom, you see all those blocks. Every block is one scene. And you see a scene is actually a combination of different objects. It can be uh, this bar here, this triangle. It's also this video that has been added. There is then a transition to the next scene. And then you have another way. Let's go for something a little bit different. Can we see something? So this one is a little different, I think. So here you have this text image and so on. There is also an audio track being added automatically in this case. But you can, of course, add your own audio tracks. You can record them directly in this application, or you can just use recordings that have been made previously with other materials and so on. So you are able here at the right side here to add even an image that is created by Gemini. So it would be possible here to say an image of a prototype of a EV model covered by a white sheet. And I now would like to have it as a sketch. Now it will try to create a similar image, which I will be able to add automatically in my presentation or in my video. In this case, let's say this one, like this, and then you can, of course, do everything that you could do here to make it as nice as possible. Do it like this with a rounded, and just move a little bit the title. Like this, and so on. So how does the result then look like? Well, we can just, and I think there won't be any sound here because probably it will be a little loud as well, but this is how it would look like. Title, there is an animation on the title. There is some timing also being added. This again is a title, but in another style with a video behind it. Then you have another video and so on. So I will just move on a little bit quicker to show you all different kinds of experiences that you can add using this Google Vids application without being an editor myself, right? So if I have a branded vid already able as a template, I just need to add the right pictures, the right videos, and there are tons of videos and stock media available here. So you have all kind of GIFs, you have all kind of videos that you can search for. For instance, if I would like to have an EV in the desert. I didn't try this before, but you never know. Electrical vehicle in a city. There you go. I can just add that stock. file, and I can add it again. So this gives you quite some options, and I am really impressed by the usability, the way it's like so easy to use it without any knowledge of, let's say, editing. Okay, I can go on for hours, as you probably experience here, which I won't do here. But let's see what kind of questions have been added and what kind of information you would like to see. Marcus, up to you.
Yes, we have two questions there. Where are they? Questions and answers. Here we go. You can still add your questions if you have something coming up. So number one is regarding data security. Do the same conditions apply for Gemini in terms of access by Google to that account as for my Workspace account itself?
It's a very relevant question, and indeed a very important one. Indeed, the Gemini add-on, and it's important that you understand it's an add-on. It's not a separate product. It's not a separate service, but it's really an add-on, is indeed just added on the Google Workspace environment. So that means basically that all regulations, all compliances, everything security related, confidentiality related, is already managed by Google Workspace. So exactly the same conditions, let's say, are applied to all that add-ons that are added here. So also for Gemini. So indeed, I can reply in a positive way here.
Perfect. Thank you. Next question. Next question is, what does alpha actually mean? I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Is it better, and how can I access it?
So yeah, also a very relevant question, and I didn't add that in the specifications. So that alpha feature, or that alpha, I don't know even how, I think it's alpha features. It's actually a setting in the Google Workspace admin console. So it means that if your organization decides that experimental features, like new features that are not fully available yet or not completely tested yet, can be used by smaller groups or even complete organizations, depending on the choice, the strategy of your organization, to use them. For instance, this VITs possibility is an alpha feature. The extensions, I think, are also in alpha for now. So it's not general available. That means that organizations using the enterprise license for Gemini, they can choose whether to offer the experimental features, yes or no. So this alpha channel is an ongoing channel or an always changing channel where new features are offered. As an organization, you are free to choose whether to make them available for your users or a part of your users or not. And then on a certain time, Google will decide, okay, now this product, this service is ready for everyone. It will become general available, we call it GA. Then it does not need to be like approved by the administrator anymore. It will be general available. I hope this is answering your question.
So great. Then we have a next one regarding video creation. Can I ask the tool to create music from scratch to include audio? Can I request a specific musical piece?
Okay, so maybe I was not very clear here. It's a very good question here. So you cannot create music yourself from the VITs application itself. So there is no beat loop pattern way of creating music here. There are other solutions for that. Any existing audio file that you would have or that you would create can be added. So if I'm going back to my video here, you should see my arrow somewhere. So you can add all your media, being audio media, being pictures, being video files. You can add them here, and then you can just drag and drop them into your presentation. What I was referring to is that you have the possibility to record voice. So for instance, if I would insert here a recording, I would be able to see or to say it's only the microphone. So I think camera and screen. No, it's not here. There was somewhere a way you are just recording it without. Oh, it's over here. Yeah. So this icon allows you to just read your speech, your script, let's say, without being on camera. So it's done like an added. It's like a recording tool for your voice, right? So that can be done directly from within the application. So I have to indeed make the difference between the creation of music and the creation of, let's say, voice recording.
Great, thank you. Hans, and one last question, maybe to tickle your sales senses a little bit. What options do we have if we want to have a limited test trial of the capabilities demonstrated, such as document generation, side panel, inline, etc.?
That's a very good question indeed, Dean. So there is we have different programs in Devo team where we create some testing possibilities. There are different approaches. So there is a very short program that allows you to try with a free license, actually, a free Gemini license for some weeks. And then we will add also some change management, because as you see, this is not a very easy feature to explain. You really need to onboard people, to share tips and tricks, to help people, to create a community around this new Gen AI era, as I call it. So it's not like let's just do a training on Gen AI. That's not our goal here. We try to teach you or your users a mindset and a way that your ambassador group of Gemini enthusiasts can also do it for other people. But there are also longer programs. Then you are engaging to buy licenses, but then you do it in a guided way. So that can be for 3 months, for 6 months. So if you're interested, just ping us, reach out. I'm not sure where you're located, Dean. You can unmute yourself if you would like to.
In the UK.
In the UK. So then Pablo Sava, I'm not sure if he's still in the call, would be able to help you out. Marcus will type his mail address in the chat so that you're able to reach out directly to him. And he will be able to explain in detail all the different programs that we can offer you.
Thank
I
you.
hope this answers your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So then we have everything for today, I guess.
Okay. Do we have time, Marcus, for the quick poll?
We in general, we are 1 minute over what we estimated. But we can release a quick poll to anyone who wants to take part and can stay a minute, no problem indeed. The quick poll. Oh, I prepared it and it vanished, but no problem. We'll be up and running in a second.
In the meantime, I add also a little gift to our participants here as a bonus. So in the chat, you find a link to a PDF document where you will be able to see this 45 pages prompting guide from Google. It has lots of information, lots of tips and tricks about how to create your prompts. What do you need to take into account? So you can just click on the link and have your own copy of it. Feel free to use that. And in the meantime, at the right bottom side, you will see this poll popping up. So click on that poll and please, can you answer our question? What Gemini for Google Workspace feature is for you, and maybe as a marketeer, a killer feature, just to have a little bit of feeling.
The web app is basically gemini.google.com.
Exactly.
We have 1 vote, 3 votes. Still no winner.
I bet the Vits are gonna win. We are talking to marketeers here, so I bet they will have that.
See you, bye-bye. No problem. Okay, there's nothing moving.
Yeah. Okay. So the Vits.
No.
I told you the Vits are gonna win. Okay,
Okay,
so I
let's
think
end the poll.
we can wrap up here. Thank you so much for participating and joining this session. I hope this gave you some insights. And again, if you feel like interested or you want more information, please reach out to us in the event organization. There is also a link where you can check and ping us for more information. Have a nice day. For the people having lunch now, have a nice lunch. And a warm approach maybe for tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to do a summer session about customer service, if I remember well. So if you're interested, feel free to join. See you later. Thank you.
See you, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.